Breaking news now on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Breaking news out of Pennsylvania tonight. Another plane crash to report. Officials say a small plane crashed suddenly in Lancaster County. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Authorities say the plane crashed not long after taking off from a nearby airport, and then it burst into flames.
Now, the plane crashed into the parking lot of a nearby retirement community in Manheim Township, just north of Lancaster proper. 5 people were on board the plane at the time of the crash. All 5 were rushed to a hospital for treatment. We don't yet know how seriously they were injured. Authorities gave a brief update on what they know and what they're looking into.
We did have multiple vehicles catch on fire due to the aircraft. We are now transitioning to a recovery and an investigation phase, and we are awaiting additional information from our federal partners on next steps.
Authorities say no one on the ground was injured. The plane was reportedly headed for Ohio. We'll keep monitoring the situation and bring you any new details as they become available.
Well, it's been a difficult 24 hours for dozens of people in New Haven. They lost their home in a fire. Now they're trying to figure out what's next. We first brought you this news last night here on the Fox 61 News at 10.
Now, the New Haven fire chief tells us a total of 31 people are out of their homes. Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot spoke with the people in the neighborhood who say they've never seen anything like it.
I spoke with one lady who lives at the complex who did not want to go on camera. She said she lost everything, including her late mother's belongings, but she's grateful she made it out alive. Jasmine Mercado said she's still shaken up. She lives next door to the apartments on Blank Street in New Haven that went up in flames Saturday evening.
We were telling everybody to get out, and not to open their doors. But, you know, I guess they had kids up there, so they opened one of the doors, and they're like, let's just get everybody out. But it was scary.
According to fire officials, 3 units are destroyed and several others are damaged. Only a fence separated Mercado's apartment complex and those that caught on fire.
I was behind here, and my boyfriend was working on his car, and we saw the smoke. Before the fire department got here, it was like maybe 15 minutes before they got here. And when they got here, they started throwing the water, but it was so windy that the fire was actually going towards the back of my house.
Other neighbors we spoke with did not want to go on camera, but they feared the fire would spread to their units too. Red Cross volunteers were at the apartment complex Saturday night helping a total of 31 people, 17 adults and 14 children who were displaced. One firefighter had to be transported to the hospital for back injuries, but he's since been released. New Haven Fire Chief John Alston Jr. says there is major damage to the units and the roof has collapsed.
These apartments are like one close to another, so we thought they was going to hit the one behind us and the one next to us too. So it was very scary. Never seen anything like that so close.
It's still unclear how the fire started. The Red Cross says it's helping 31 people from these apartments who were forced out of their home. In New Haven, Kay Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
Thank you, Kate. Time for a look at the weather now. We've got a warm up ahead of us here in Connecticut as we look live out over Hartford tonight. Winds are going to die down a little bit and the temperatures are going to feel a little warmer, maybe a lot warmer.
Oh, you're saying so many nice things, Brent. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank for a first check of the forecast. No wind, warmer temperatures. I love it, Rachel.
We are checking all of the boxes here and giving you a reason to look forward to a Monday. Some people don't usually. So we're looking at highs in the 50s, even near 60 degrees the next 2 days. So another spring preview in the works, and we'll have a lot of sunshine to go along with it so you can truly enjoy. Here's a look at the numbers out there and a big range. We're looking at 20s for Windham, but 40s in Waterbury. And I think we'll see overnight lows mostly in the 30s tonight. Obviously, it's a bit cooler, though, in northeastern Connecticut. But check out tomorrow, near 60 in Hamden, low 60s in Wallingford, down by the beaches. Branford and Guilford are looking at temperatures in the upper 50s, but it's a bit cooler along the shoreline of southeastern Connecticut, highs in the mid 50s, upper 50s in Mansfield, and we're looking at highs near 60 for Colchester, Durham, and also New Britain. It is going to be a beautiful day. I actually think it'll be a few degrees warmer for Tuesday inland, but we might shave a couple degrees off for the shoreline, so it just depends on where you are. And it's cooler, but not cold as we head towards the middle of the week. We're going to talk about the timing of a rain or snow shower in the forecast and when heavy rain returns coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. New tonight, driving in the left lane for too long can be risky, but that hasn't stopped drivers here in Connecticut from trying.
According to Progressive Insurance, some studies have identified this as one of the most irritating things for other drivers.
Fox 61's Stefan Reels introduces us to a new bill trying to stop drivers from camping out in the left lane.
Now, if you've driven down the interstate here in Connecticut, chances are you might have been frustrated once or twice with some people's driving habits. And you're not alone on that one. Members of the Connecticut Department of Transportation tell Fox 61 they've been receiving a bunch of complaints from people who say drivers just go on over into the left lane, sometimes camp out over there, and even slow down traffic because they go below the speed limit. And while the state does have left lane policies, a new bill is making its way through the Capitol to hopefully keep left lanes a little more clear.
Some people don't know how to drive still.
It's the modern day struggle Southington native Mark Ray LeClaire knows all too well. Clogged roadways with left lanes riddled with slow and idle drivers.
They just stay and it's like, why? It's a passing lane. Pass and move over.
It just creates unsafe conditions, more fender benders, more crashes, more of these traffic jams. And when we started looking at the state statutes, it really was unclear the tools that we had available to us as the Department of Transportation.
That's part of the reason why leaders at the DOT introduced a new bill to lawmakers, according to spokesperson Josh Morgan. Senate Bill 1375 aims to clarify those tools and allow the DOT to put up signs across the state to make it clear the left lane is for passing, not traveling.
Hopefully that would just improve safety and make conditions safer and less congested.
So far this year, similar bills have been filed in states like Arizona, where signs would be posted along the interstate to tell drivers about the law and the potential penalty that would come with it.
It's time to catch up with other states. If it's worked in other states, why not try it here?
The left lane driving is really only a small portion of the Senate bill. If it passes, the bill would also increase penalties for unsafe driving, require reflective paint on interstates just like I-84. It would also require motorcyclists to wear helmets while they are on their motorcycles, and it would also prohibit open alcohol containers in cars. Now, we've already had a public hearing on the bill, and there seems to be a lot of support behind it. And while there is a little bit of pushback, that really all seems to be directed at the motorcycle helmet portion of the bill that I mentioned earlier. But for now, in Southington, Stefan Reels, Fox 61.
All right, Stefan, thank you. Firefighters in Wethersfield were called to a report of a basement fire this morning, and fire crews found smoke coming out of the basement of the home on Maple Street. Fortunately, no one was hurt. The fire was put out, and there's no word on what caused that fire right now.
A commercial flower farm in Summers is thanking the surrounding communities for support. A massive fire tore through the facility Friday night. Over 20 different fire companies had to be called in to help. This was the fire at Grower Direct Farms on Hampton Road. One firefighter was injured. Firefighters spent much of the Saturday monitoring conditions to make sure nothing reignited. On Facebook, the farm thanked all the first responders and nearby farms and companies for all their support. Grower Direct says it's committed to rebuilding even better and stronger than before. UConn officials are investigating a threat made on campus directed at the Student Rec Center. The university spokesperson says someone found a note that said an explosive was in the building. The center had to be evacuated. Police didn't find anything inside, though. There were no reports of any injuries.
Jewish leaders in Guilford are speaking out following the arrests of two people charged with damaging and vandalizing a menorah back in December during the holiday season. Guilford police arrested the two men after surveillance video from the Guilford Town Green showed the two suspects intentionally breaking and stomping on the menorah. Both men face criminal charges, including intimidation based on bigotry or bias and criminal mischief. Now, the Chabad Lubavitch of the Shoreline, which puts up the menorah every year, released a statement to Fox 61, and Rabbi Yossi Yaffe said about the incident, this aberration does not represent the Guilford community. For 25 years, Chabad of the Shoreline's menorah has illuminated Guilford without incident. Throughout the years, many residents from different faith communities and from across the political spectrum have expressed their appreciation and pride in having a menorah on the Guilford Town Green. With God's help, we will continue to share the menorah's light for many years to come.
Jose Morales, the man accused of killing his girlfriend and the prime suspect suspect in the disappearance of his 1-year-old daughter, is expected back in court tomorrow. Morales is heading to trial. He pled not guilty to murder charges in the death of his former girlfriend, Christine Holloway, 5 years ago. Their daughter, Vanessa, went missing the same day Holloway's body was found. She has not been seen since. A judge ruled Vanessa's name can be used during the murder trial. Morales' legal team tried to keep it out of the trial.
We have a consumer alert for you tonight. Officials are reminding drivers about a popular scam that continues to make the rounds. Drivers are still reporting getting phony text messages claiming to be from tolling agencies across the country asking for money for unpaid tolls. The Massachusetts Department of Transportation is among those agencies. Officials sent out a reminder to drivers who have an easy pass with the Mass DOT about this smishing scam, they call it, requesting payment for unpaid tolls. Drivers should be careful about any sort of messaging demanding immediate payment and sending a link to visit on their phone or device to pay. If you get a text message like this, just don't click on the link and don't visit it in your internet browser. If you've already done it, check your personal and financial information and keep an eye on it. File a complaint with the Internet Crime Complaint Center before you delete the scam text and report it as scam. And when in doubt, log into your EasyPass account online to check and confirm your account balance. Mass DOT says it will never send invoices or request payment via text message.
New Haven school officials are getting ready for a big change starting tomorrow. Middle schools are going cell phone free. Students grades 5 through 8 will have to put their cell phones in these yonder pouches during the day. New Haven Mayor Justin Elliker will join the New Haven Superintendent of Schools tomorrow to implement this new policy. All New Haven high schools will begin following the same policy this fall.